and extending our ability to pay attention to it for a period of time, right? This object of meditation can literally be anything. Um, Traditionally, when we're learning how to meditate, we tend to focus on a fixed object, like the body, or like a picture or a sound, um, or just something that we can actively put attention to that is relatively simple of an object, something that's not continuously morphing, so that we can learn how to pay like continuous attention to that object for long periods of time. Um, why would you do that, you might ask, right? Well, first and foremost is because our attention, right, our mind, especially in the 21st century in 2018, we're continuously bombarded with information. We're continuously pulled and pushed in different directions to pay attention to, whether it is, oh, somebody sent me a text, it's work, continuously having to do something next, Facebook, TV, you name it, right? I mean, you can probably just go on and on and on the list. And it seems that we're not in control of our attention. We're continuously being led to pay attention to different things that we may or may not want to pay attention to, right? So what a gift is it to be able to choose what we pay attention to, what it is to be, I don't know, with your children, your parents, your loved ones, and instead of being distracted, like, oh, did I get that text, or oh, did you see this in Facebook? It's like you're actually present with them right there, right then. What a gift is that, both for yourself because you're present with them, but also to them because you're present to them, right? So, in this little simple ways, it might seem that we're training. I mean, specifically, we're training with our breath. We're paying attention to our breath, which would be our bodies, right? Which our bodies are always in the present time. So it's a great thing to pay attention to. So we're going to pay attention to our breath first. So you just inhalation, exhalation, maybe at our nose, maybe at our chest. If you're more advanced, maybe at your dough. But just learning how to be present to that and choosing. That's big. We're choosing to be present to that particular thing. And then just to make it a little bit more interesting, and as prescribed by our teacher's teacher, we're going to chant not even a mantra, just a syllable, hung. It looks like this. If you're interested, it really doesn't matter. But for those of us who like Tibetan script and Sanskrit, that's what it looks like. It's really just we're just paying attention to the vibrational sounds of the syllable itself, and we're doing that because it's breath can be it's pretty simple, basic thing to pay attention to. It's not going to do anything crazy most of the time. The syllable isn't either, but it's a little bit more active. There's more movement that we're paying attention to, right? And this starts to become a transitional object of meditation that can be moved into the real world where we're talking, right? I mean, sound. We're talking. Can we pay attention while we talk? Somebody else is talking to us. Can we pay attention to that? So those are the two basic techniques that we're going to use today. And yeah, I mean, it just just to reinforce that we're just learning to pay attention when and to what we want to pay attention to, which I think it's a great gift to train, and then we have a group to do it with, which is a beautiful thing. So let's get started. So first, just find your seat, come home, I like to call it. So just wiggle back and forth, side to side, and find that point where your sits bones are making full contact with your cushion or chair. And then from those sit bones, you're really just building your vertebra, stacking them one on top of each other naturally, so that it feels like you're obviously putting a little bit of effort to be able to be here, but it should be a minimal effort. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. Actually, quite the opposite. You should feel comfortable here. Once you found that, follow it all the way up to the top of your skull. And it's almost like strings pulling into your skull so that your chin is slightly tucked and then there's a straight line coming across your entire back. This allows for our energy to flow better in our body. And then I invite you to do a body scan, nothing fancy, just, scan for extension, maybe in your hips, maybe your shoulders, maybe your jawline. And invite the next couple of in breaths into that area of your body just to build some space there. And as you exhale, try to let go of some of that excess tension. See if that works for you. And just pay attention. How does that feel? And remember, this is always available for you. When you've reached a point of relative ease and you feel like you're sitting in a comfortable position, um, start to pay attention to your breath, the inhales and the exhales, how your chest raises and then drops back down. Most likely, even a couple of minutes into the meditation, your mind has already wandered to whatever it is that it's wandering to. It doesn't really matter. Just notice. Don't judge it. Don't fight it. Just notice that you're distracted and gently nudge your attention back to your breath. So oftentimes when we start to meditate, we think that we're doing something wrong because we're thinking, right? Well, that's absolutely couldn't be further from the truth. There's an old Tibetan saying I like. It goes, "You can't have meat without bones, so you can't have mind without thoughts." So don't get angry. Don't judge yourself for having a thought. That's totally natural. You have a mind. We're just learning how to work with mind and how to choose what we pay attention to. Again, every time that thought arises, just maybe touch it, label it as thought, and gently bring your attention back to your breath. And now I'm gonna start chanting the syllable hung. And you can join at your own pace. Do it for about 2 minutes. Um, just, keep an open mind, see how it feels. As the sound subsides, just pay attention to your mind, to your body. How do you feel? No judgment, just attention. And when that experience has subsided, just gently bringing your attention back to your breath. Oftentimes in meditation, especially at the beginning, it can be a little overwhelming or disorienting to sit with yourselves and your thoughts. Um, so, our teacher Anne likes to remind us of the many supports that we have in this process. A beautiful one to remember is that, as we sit here on top of Earth, we're always sitting directly above the center of Earth in a straight line. And what a beautiful support that we have from this beautiful planet, from Mother Earth, from Gaia, of just without any judgment, just supporting us, holding us, protecting us, giving us an environment to live on. So, if that image helps you feel supported in this process, it's always a nice thing to bring to mind. Additionally, we can feel the support of our own skeletal structure and how it's able to hold us up, how it's able to sustain us here, how that vertebra stack on each other and give us stability. And to me, one of the most overlooked and subtle ones, but really, really important one, and actually a cornerstone of Buddhism is the community, right? Called Sangha. But you can really call it anything you want. And it's the fact that we come here together and are present to each other and support each other in our process of meditation, in our process of life. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or having difficulties, whether it's meditation or life, it's nice to remember these things. Again, just bringing some attention to how that made you feel. And when you're ready, just bring your attention back to your breath. And again, it can't be overstated how much it's natural to get distracted. It's natural to have thoughts. Our practice really, and what meditation truly is us bringing our mind back to our object, right? Back home, back to whatever that is that we want to pay attention to. So don't feel overwhelmed or just discouraged. Just know that the practice is to lose attention and to come back to it. I remember one of the first times I practiced meditation, teacher told us that the difference between a new student and a master is not if they get distracted, but how often they come back. So I hope that helps you as much as it did me at one point. I find it useful and productive to give myself a couple of minutes when I'm meditating, and I encourage you and invite you to do this with me, just to check in on what our motivation to be here today is. What's driving you to meditate? Um, there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just exercise to tap into, what brings you here today. The more we understand it, the more we might meditate or not, but I think it's important to understand our motivations. In this case, it's just about our meditation, but really our motivations about life in general. what drives us, what motivates us. That's just such an important part of our existence, and we oftentimes just look at the surface of what we're doing, but not why we're doing it. So, you know, for now, I invite you to pay attention to why you're here meditating. But I do encourage you from time to time in your day-to-day life is to ask yourself why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. So take a couple of minutes to think about that. If you haven't been already, I invite you to this last couple of minutes of meditation to try to meditate with your eyes open. In our tradition, we meditate with our eyes open because we're not meditating to shut away the world. We're not trying to run away from anything. We're actually trying to learn how to be more present and how to show up more in this world. So we believe that by meditating with our eyes open is we're actually training and being here now. In addition to that, there's a couple of techniques that involve using our gaze. When we're feeling like there's a lot of going on in our minds, we're maybe a little hyperactive. We cast our gaze down, maybe past 45 degrees down, and this has the tendency to soothe the mind and calm it down. Conversely, we're feeling sleepy, lethargic, we cast our gaze up. And this sort of livens up the mind. In addition to that, visualizing that we're inhaling energy and wakefulness and exhaling staleness and dullness is helpful too. So these are just little techniques that I encourage you to take home with you. So we'll take about a 10-minute break. There's some snacks and drinks on the hallway. There's also what we call the Book of Names. We write the name of anybody that we'd like to dedicate our merit towards. Needs a little extra humph in their lives right now. Could even be yourself if you feel that way. So yeah, it's right there. If you want to write names, I will read them when we come back and dedicate our merit and close. Questions, comments? I'm here. Claire can help you. Mark was here. He disappeared on me. But yeah, we're here to help as much as we can. So feel free to ask.
Dawn Mountain offers traditional Buddhist teachings primarily in the Tibetan tradition in a way that is accessible to contemporary Americans. Having studied and practiced for many years under recognized Tibetan masters, and understanding that these teachings provide a way to realize the natural state of mind that embodies profound wisdom and deep love, Anne Klein and Harvey Aronson wished to share these traditions here in the United States. As a result, they established Dawn Mountain in June 1996, based on the core belief that it is possible to cultivate a better understanding of our deepest nature, which in turn facilitates new levels of mental calm and self-acceptance.
So our inspiration really comes from our love and gratitude to our own teachers. They spent so much time and care with us over many, many years.
Kaizen Rinpoche was extraordinarily compassionate. He had a terrific sense of humor, and just his ability to be present and immediate and just there. Adzon Rinpoche is extraordinarily compassionate and grounded.
And we've had extraordinary experiences with Adzon Rinpoche, whom I met in Tibet in 96. And I've had many hours of just, one-on-one conversation, a person who has tens of thousands of students to attend to. Okay, there's this wealth of cultural wisdom in Tibet. It's encoded in texts, in practices, in rituals, in art, and many people in the West are attracted to it, and yet Westerners are Westerners. We're Westerners. We're not monastics. We may dedicate our lives to practice in our heart of hearts, but we have families, we have jobs, we have all kinds of responsibilities. So how can we communicate and really experience transformation through these practices? For that, some kind of bridging is necessary. We're also a community center, nonprofit community center, which is the hub of our work extending life skills, the life skills of cultivating calm, of cultivating ease in life, of cultivating kindness.
What did you do today that you liked?
Make the glittery thing to show your anger.
And what happened when you shook up the glittery thing?
It made me feel a little bit like I wanted to meditate in peace.
And then the Research Institute is where we look at what we can provide by way of information gained through research for the interested public. So we've mentioned that our own teachings here, which are drawn from work that we've done, our own translation work, our own study, and so forth, some of these will start appearing as pamphlets for practitioners here, and some of them will become books that will be published and will be widely available to the larger public. And I am right now in the process of gathering a team to translate a text from this tradition, which he powerfully feels, and which I also have a very, very strong wish to see translated. And we hope to do more of that. We've seen people telling us how their lives have changed, how their lives are improved, the comfort, the inspiration that they feel coming to Dawn Mountain. We really are inspired to envision a way that Dawn Mountain becomes a stable beacon and place of gathering for people who wish to practice at whatever level.
I trust the teachings. I feel in the place. I feel that I am constantly fed.
And I can feel my breathing better because of the way my legs are positioned.
How long have you been sitting like that?
I learned it when I started coming here.
And it's not only been in the spiritual sense, but also in every aspect of my daily life. I feel that I'm less stressed out. I don't get as angry or as depressed as I used to.
It's good. It teaches me how to like kind of relax and be mindful and help with school and stuff like that whenever I get aggravated.
One of our projects that has come to partial fruition is that we have developed a curriculum, which is posted on our website, that is explains the open matrix of what a path, spiritual path, can be supported here at Dawn Mountain.
We've slowly become aware of the power of the media, and it is clear now that there is great interest in both our broadcasts from here, and from time to time we might be able to have broadcasts from Asia with Adzom Rinpoche or his sister Anila. Without students, there are no teachers, and without teachers, there are no students. We all dependently create one another. So we're very, very excited by the energy that is in the community. The community is alive, it is supportive, it is growing, and it really wishes to thrive, and we want to participate in that thriving in every way that we can. But we're really talking about finding a space of shared values. And if individuals share the values that we have in terms of coming to a deep appreciation of our innermost nature, then come and participate. That's the most significant thing that we can do together. Just sharing our participation is lovely and meaningful. And anything above and beyond that, by way of offering service for this community, offering financial, flows naturally. And we expect that that will just be a natural outflow for people because of that shared interest.
Dawn Mountain offers traditional Buddhist teachings primarily in the Tibetan tradition in a way that is accessible to contemporary Americans. Having studied and practiced for many years under recognized Tibetan masters, and understanding that these teachings provide a way to realize the natural state of mind that embodies profound wisdom and deep love, Anne Klein and Harvey Aronson wished to share these traditions here in the United States. As a result, they established Dawn Mountain in June 1996, based on the core belief that it is possible to cultivate a better understanding of our deepest nature, which in turn facilitates new levels of mental calm and self-acceptance.
So our inspiration really comes from our love and gratitude to our own teachers. They spent so much time and care with us over many, many years.
Kaizen Rinpoche was extraordinarily compassionate. He had a terrific sense of humor. And just his ability to be present and immediate and just there. Adzom Rinpoche is extraordinarily compassionate and grounded.
And we've had extraordinary experiences with Adzom Rinpoche, whom I met in Tibet in 96. And I've had many, 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 many hours of just, one-on-one conversation, a person who has tens of thousands of students to attend to. okay, there's this wealth of cultural wisdom in Tibet. It's encoded in texts, in practices, in rituals, in art, and many people in the West are attracted to it, and yet Westerners are Westerners. We're Westerners. We're not monastics. We may dedicate our lives to practice in our heart of hearts, but we have families, we have jobs, we have all kinds of responsibilities. So
So let's take a minute or two just to come back home, come back into our bodies. If it's okay with you, we'll dedicate the merit of our practice and dedication, and then we'll do the blessing on the yellow page, at the bottom of the yellow page, the one that has another part over here. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. And I don't know your name, but would you light the candle for us as we do the blessing, please? There you go. With all of you in mind, we light this clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise born forth in one enlightened mandala. And we dedicate the merit of our practice to all sentient beings, but in particular today, to Cecile Gomez Bardo, Rishi, Adam, Henry, Eskimo, Animals, Doug, Ann, Tucker, Tanya, Claudia, Ann and Harvey, Victims of War, Cecilia Gomez Bardo, Geronimo Enriquez, Seth, Susan, Robin, Michael, Mary Lou, Dan, Dara, Gillette, Aunt Christy in a hospital, Patty Eberhart in the Bardo, Doris, This Nation, Mary, Dominica, Rahim, Rito, Gary, Tara, Julie, Gabrielle, Gyasum, Bardo, Jackie Crowder, Bardo, Ulrich, Mother, Bardo, Dominique's aunt, Cecilia, the Fledger's family, Roden Gomez Bardo, Mark Cypress Bardo, Tien Nguyen, Basuda, and Palasha, Charlotte Donner, Dennis' mother-in-law, Constance, Sarah, Youngyan Mai, Maya, Pedri, Athena, Yogi Sahar. And we'll close our practice with a big ah. And as we say ah, we imagine light pouring forth from our hearts, first and foremost to ourselves, then to everybody here in the room. And as that happens, we're also receiving light from everybody in the room. And then finally, we expand it to Houston, country, the planet, the universe, the multiverse, as far as your imagination can go, just bring light into that. Thank you for coming out this morning and sharing your meditation with us. And hopefully you enjoyed it. Announcements? Any announcements?
Thank you very much, Paulo. And special welcome to the families of middle schoolers who are here with their youngsters. This is a brand new program for Dawn Mountain starting today for the next 5 weeks after this, and so we're so happy to have you and your children among us. And the Reincarnation Book Club will meet after meditation, so if you're part of that group, and if you're not and you want to catch up, you can look it up on the website and see what's being read for the next month. It's a monthly convening after a Sunday meditation, and we thank Shannon for being on top of that and making it all possible. It has come to my attention that we have Sangha member who is looking for a place to stay in Houston this coming Friday through the following Tuesday. She will have her own car, and she will be attending a training that's taking place here for Mitras in our Dzogchen Cycles program. So if anybody has an open bedroom and would be willing to accommodate Carol Hoy from New Mexico, we would please come and see me. She's a pretty low maintenance guest, and she's a lovely person. And Ann and Harvey will be here for, So we have a special Teaching Tuesday this coming Tuesday, March 20th. And Claire will be in charge, and we hope it will continue the series that we've been that began in January. So don't miss that. As you know, we have Teaching Tuesdays every first and third Tuesday of the month. And we look forward to seeing you all here then. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Thanks.